What is going on, Cigar Club family? Today on the podcast, we are talking about the top 10 cigars myself and D. Pugh have smoked this year. You're not going to want to miss it. Welcome to the Cigar Club podcast. Cigar Club family, this is my most anticipated podcast. We thought the last one was big. This is an even bigger podcast.
Really excited for this one.
Welcome to the podcast. Today we are talking about myself and Pugh's top 10 cigars of 2021. It's showtime, baby.
It's showtime. I mean, caveat, top 10 cigars of 2021 that were new to us. So these are not necessarily cigars that came out in 2021, but it's cigars that we smoked for the first time in 2021. And I like doing this way.
I'm so fired up about this.
Yeah, I love doing it this way because it kind of it opens it up a little bit more, right? There's plenty of cigars that come out that you've never smoked before. And it's fun to have a list looking at that as as a whole.
And I have no idea what's on Pugh's list, and he has no idea. Maybe we have some thoughts on what might be on it, but we have not discussed our lists. And I think that's why I feel so giddy about this, because I'm like, I don't know what you're about to say. Normally on a podcast, we both know like what's kind of happening, who's going to be on, what the questions are.
No show notes for today. Hey, we're just rolling on the hips on this one. I've got my list pulled up. Dave, I imagine you've got your list somewhere. And no idea. I'll be shocked if, I don't know. Do you have any idea what my number one cigar may be? Do we want to hold it? Do we even want to say it?
I have an idea. I'm not going to say it. I have an idea. And I'm also going to bet that we have 3 cigars crossover on our top 10 list.
I think 3 is a safe number. I was going to say 4.
Maybe 4. Yeah.
But I'm looking at my list right now, and I'm like, I don't know if you've actually smoked that cigar or if you enjoy that cigar, but I'm going to go 3. All
right, so we're both going 3. Folks, light up a cigar with us. Actually, none of us are smoking. We're very just locked in on what...
Light up a cigar
I didn't want any
for
bias.
us.
I don't want people to think like I'm smoking something on the list.
That's true.
Please light up a cigar for us. I've poured. I always bring out a good bottle when we do a top 10.
Oh, man.
My favorite batch proof or barrel proof from Elijah Craig, which is the A121.
Do I need to pause and get a drink here while you carry this the show? All right, we're going into the closet.
Grab a drink. Okay,
carry us.
Go get it. Go get it. All right, so top 10 cigars of the year. A great thing to note here is we're not saying that there isn't other cigars that you might find that are better. This is my top 10 that clicked with my palate the best, and I think this is an important distinction. Even when you're reading big websites and magazines, their top 25 is what their panel thought was a top 25 cigar of the year. For me, it's like these kind of smaller level top 10s are so cool because you get to hear from the people why maybe a lot of the cigars that I like, you who are listening or watching, you resonate with. You're probably going to love my top 10. If a lot of the cigars that Pugh talks about all the time, you like, his top 10 is probably going to be a banger for you. So keep that in mind. This is just our 2 opinions. We do have some similarities in our palates, and then they vary in other ways as well. But let's get into it. Before we both say our number 10 cigar of the year, Pugh, what are you drinking?
So we went into the overflow closet, which does contain some bottles, and we grabbed Heaven Hill Bottled in Bond.
Nice. I don't want to ruin this moment, but I really don't like that bottle.
I know you don't. And I absolutely love this bottle. Although
I should go back to it. It's been probably close to a year.
It's really good. And I grabbed a similar glass to you. I got this from Peerless.
Yes, but, the little one, right?
These are the exact same glasses, but mine's labeled, yeah. But love this whiskey.
Too, dude.
This to me is just like a caramel vanilla bomb. Oh, nice.
All right. Pugh, cheers to you.
Cheers.
Top 10 cigars of the year for myself.
Let's roll into it, baby.
Start us off, Mr. Purito.
This one,
number 10.
You just recently smoked. Hell, I recently smoked it with you. Live, Fridays at 4, baby.
No
Caldwell
way.
Eastern Standard Sungrown Magic 2020 Limited Edition Lancero.
That was a mouthful. Get them on the board, folks.
It was. Throw it up there. I absolutely love this cigar. Smoking it on that Fridays at 4 reaffirmed how much I really like it. It just, to me, it's a great Lancero. It pairs well. It's clean. I think that was the word we threw around most on that Fridays at 4 was just how clean this cigar was. I smoked that cigar. I think I went out with friends after that, and like I didn't feel like, you know, my breath stank or I had this overwhelming cigar taste that was going to ruin my meal or anything like that. Was blown away with it when I smoked it this year. And as you can see here, the cigar didn't come out in 2021. It was a limited edition that was released in 2020 and makes my top 10. So if you haven't smoked it, you do enjoy Lanceros or just a cigar that could go any time of the day, highly recommend it. They still sell them, and you would not be disappointed.
Man, starting us off with a nice limited Lancero. I do also have a few limiteds on my list, which I wasn't shying away from. Some of these you might not be able to get anymore. These were 10 cigars that I thought were the best I smoked this year, and a couple of them happen to be limiteds, but my number 10 does not happen to be limited.
Ooh,
we put this in a box.
Uh-oh.
But the size I chose was not the one we put in the box.
Okay.
Number 10 cigar of the year for myself, Casa Cuevas Patrimonio in Toro.
Ooh, Toro.
And maybe a week ago I had one. I smoked the Toros at the TP show.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up putting the Robusto in. Big Robusto fan. It was a more compact, kind of aggressive cigar. I smoked the Toro again recently, and I was like, oh, wow. I actually prefer it in this size. It's a little more nuanced. It's not as punchy, but you get more through the retro without kind of overwhelming yourself. Patrimonio in Toro, lock it in, 5 different tobaccos, lineage of people, grandfather, son, and grandson all blended this cigar. Great usage of regions of tobacco that aren't super popular in cigars. And it's got strength, but it's refined, and it has a lot of flavors, and I love it. Love it with Weller 107, number 10 cigar of the year.
Yeah, that's a great one. Really shocking on the Toro size, though.
I know.
Normally,
I'm not a Toro guy.
I'm not I mean, I enjoy a Toro, but it's normally not my go-to.
Right.
That's surprising, and I like that. I'm going to have to take a look, see if I can get that Toro and give it a try. But yeah,
I also like. I made an emphasis. I know. Well, you thought it'd be higher?
I did. I thought that was going to be much higher.
10 it is.
What the heck is going to be the rest of the 9?
I didn't realize until this afternoon how many new cigars I smoked. I have multiple notes that I'll keep track, and then also photos from my phone where I keep them, and on Instagram, of course. And I started going through this afternoon. I'm like, oh my God, that was new to me this year. That was new to me. And it just started beating out all these other ones that could have made my top 10. So anyway, I'm really excited. There's a lot of bangers on this list. In my opinion, they're all incredible. But number 10. All right, Pugh, let's get to the single digits here, brother.
Boom, into the 9. This one, you're going to be shocked at where it landed. Just like I was shocked where Patrimonio landed for you, I would assume that would have been higher up for you. So you're going to have an incredible top 10 if Patrimonio came in at number 10. But bringing in number 9, I should say, is going to be Serino Cigars Elenor Rose.
What? Boo.
I know you're going to give me a hard time for the location. It's so difficult, right? Like, you smoke 50, 60 new cigars, maybe even more than that are new to year for a year, and it's so hard when you get down to 10 to then actually find out and place those top 10, especially because some of these cigars I haven't smoked since January of 2021, and I may have only smoked one of them for 2021, but it stands out, and then it's more or less where it stands out for me, and then trying to figure out. I mean, I've had this at 6. I had this at 10. And then it landed at 9. So it's almost like the list that I have these in could go in any order. Any of these cigars in my top 10 could be in the top 3 and land in the top 1. Elenor Rose, the eagle size specifically, fantastic. We've talked about it numerous times. It lands in 9, and that could be a cigar that could be number 1 for you. Like, that's, who knows, right? But
the crazy part. Sorry, Pugh, I cut you off. Oh, I'm just disturbed by you. The crazy part is, and I think we say this every time we do any top anything. You're in the top. It's a memorable cigar. It performed impeccably, my guess. The flavor was right up your alley, and you would go back, and with the top 10, honestly, to me, they're all box worthy if it's in a top 10.
Oh, absolutely.
Top 25, I'm going to have a couple 5-packs in there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But then top 10 should be, I would buy a box of these. And
I
that's
agree.
how I feel
And
about
it's
all
also
these.
like,
So it's like, you can kind of move them around, but these, we smoke a lot of cigars at Cigar Club, especially new ones, new releases. We got this coming out. We got this coming out. To have 10 that really stand out is pretty impressive.
and I would even further to say, like, most of these are box purchases that I would buy a second box when I ran out of the first box. I mean, it's so hard to place these. So, Carson, it's a number one cigar in my heart. It also just landed at number 9. It is no reflection of how great that cigar is.
Yes,
so
it's
honorable
amazing.
mention. But I'll make Carson happier later on down the road. Not the only Serino on my list.
Wow. All right. You heard it here,
Stay
folks.
tuned.
Okay, number 9 for moi. Wow. I love this cigar. From our good friends at Ace Prime. Drum roll, please. It is the Pichardo Reserva Familiar Habano in Corona Gorda.
Great cigar, great
Love
size.
this stick.
When I'm trying to think, was that a 2021 release? I'm trying to think of when that
believe
cigar
it's
came out.
2021. I know this. Okay, this size is 100% a 2021 release. The
Gotcha. And
Toro,
it's-
I might have been 2020.
Yeah, that's an
But I know
incredible
this
cigar. Is
size
that
released this year? Smoked it at TPE for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to it weekly. I am such a fan of this cigar. They do the very interesting, the fermentation on this specific.
I remember we
line.
talked about that on this podcast before, where the way that they ferment it.
And the flavor, it just works with me. The size is the size is registered at 4.38 by 46, so 4.25 ish by 46. I am so obsessed with the size.
What's the color band on that one? I'm
It's
trying
the
to
red
remember.
one. The red one.
The red one.
Yep.
I don't think I've smoked that. I've smoked the white band. I don't know if I smoked the red. I would actually venture to say I haven't, but I'm pretty sure I have it to smoke.
You should, because we've shipped it.
Yeah.
You put that one close to next, because that
Move that
cigar
one
just
up.
resonates with me. There's something about it. It's got everything. Big fan.
The white band's,
Great cigar.
the white band's fantastic. So I imagine this one falls right in line. But man, a cigar that I haven't smoked.
There you
I have to
go.
add that to, like I said, that just moved itself to the top of reach into the bag and smoke it next.
Number 9. All right, Pugh, number 8. What you got?
Coming in at number 8, this is another cigar that we have shipped this year. It's going to be the HVC La Rosa 520 Maduro.
Whoa.
Loved
HVC's
loved
on the
this
board,
cigar.
folks.
I don't smoke enough HVC,
Nobody
which
does.
is sacrilege. I don't think you could smoke enough HVC, but this Maduro just completely blew me away and almost like reignited my love for Maduros. Like, I smoked this one and I immediately finished it, and I was like, I want to smoke it again. Like, I want to light another one. Just chain chief a cigar with the same one right after. Killer. I've got a couple of these just aging away. I think they're going to get even better with age, but it had dark berry notes. It had a little bit of leather, a little bit of cedar. I mean, just tons of transitions, super clean, flawless construction. You could not ask for a better cigar. Highly recommended if you haven't smoked it. Even if you are not someone who normally reaches for Maduro, you will not be let down. I mean, the flavors are spot on. The strength isn't overpowering. Incredible.
Wow. I really enjoyed that cigar. Funny, that didn't get in my top 10, but I remember really, really enjoying it. And you know why I think it didn't get in my top 10? Is because I'm still salty that the only HVC I haven't had, the only HVC I've never had, is the La Rosa 520 Corojo.
Oh,
And I just long for that
that's really
cigar.
good.
I'm actually making a
Yeah.
mental note. Like, I want to reach out to Lorenzo and see if we can we do it as a club? How do we bring this back?
Yeah, can we bring it back?
Because
Do you have any
gave me
sitting
the
away
Maduro, but
that
I
are
didn't
just for
want
me?
that. I wanted the Corojo. So anyway, it
the
is
Corojo.
a fantastic cigar. We've shipped it in boxes. It had a lot of 5 stars on it. There it is, folks. HVC La Rosa 520 Maduro.
On the board.
On the board, that was number 8, right?
Number 8. Number 8. I'm waiting for our first overlap, and I think it's about to come.
All right. Number
I think
8
it's going to
for
come
me.
within the next 2.
Number 8 for me. You know I had to get something from La Isla on this board.
Of course.
Ladies and gentlemen,
course.
number 8 cigar of the year for me, the Warped Chinchalle Robusto. Made at our favorite factory, Tabacalera La Isla. And I'll tell you why this made the top 10. It's very simple. I've never tasted so much florality or smelled so much florality in a cigar than with this. And the first time I smoked it was after a full day of blending and while I was consuming food poisoning. And I still was obsessed with this cigar. It is just unique is the only word I can say that's so overplayed. It's the most unique cigar on this list.
You bring up Chinchalle, and I'm like, how did that not make my list? Because you're right.
Yeah.
You're spot on. It's completely different than anything I've had out of La Isla. I think it's
Or
different
even
than
from
anything
Warped.
That's what I was
way
saying.
different,
Anything that
especially
from
anything
Kyle's
recent.
portfolio,
Yeah.
it's completely different. I just, man, now I'm like, man, can I fit that into my top 10? Can I get an honorable top 10 mention somewhere? It's tough. I think of where it came out at, where, it is a fairly new release.
It is new.
I've only smoked it once or twice, and so it's tough. I mean, it's so tough to condense down to a top 10, but that one I would easily buy a box of. So it could easily fit into my top 10, and not surprised to see it fit in yours. I remember immediately after you smoked it, you texted me and you're like, I'm dying. However, this cigar is incredible, and it somehow came through despite being sick and smoked cigars all day.
Right.
Incredible release. And I love something like that is so cool to me to see someone break out of their norm and introduce something completely different to their profile and not be hesitant to release it and then have great success with it.
It's funny because
I think
feels
Kyle
like
nailed
Warped.
that.
It feels like Warped because it's so different, but it also doesn't feel like Warped.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like
Unbanded. I would
Warped.
never said that was Warped.
But it also makes
But
sense.
the construction and the way that he plays with flavors and the layering of the tobaccos or the placement of the tobaccos is Kyle.
Agree.
But the taste profile of that is completely unlike anything he's come out with.
Man, 3 deep, folks.
There it is.
What's going to crack the top 7 here? I'm really excited to get to the top 5 too, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. As Pugh takes another dram of his Heaven Hill. Take us to number 7.
I will say it hasn't aged well. It was much better on first crack. The air's starting to get to it, so this will move to the front of the cabinet, so I finish soon. Yeah. But number 7, this is a cigar that came out in 2005.
What?
And I just smoked it this year.
Oh, God. Do I know this?
It's the Davidoff 2005 Robusto Intenso original release. I had this cigar. We got a Davidoff. I had this cigar for quite a long time, not since 2005, but I think I've had it for, I don't know. But anyway, I just got around to smoking it this year.
But it's from the 2005 production?
Yep. They re-released this cigar, I think, in 2020 or 2021. But this was the original release. Wow. It's the one that has the 4 stars on the secondary band. It doesn't say Intenso on the secondary band, which is the new release. Incredible.
Wow. 15 years later?
I've talked about it before. I'm a sucker for Davidoff. I'm a sucker for their limited releases. I love aged tobacco. It just has a uniqueness, a mustiness. I think you've maybe described it as mushroomy. To me, it's musky. I yearn for it. That's why I love Fuentes. I love the... There it is. Cute SAT word. I just love that aged tobacco flavor, and this one was it just hit you in the face. Immediately you puffed it up or smoked it, and you were like, this is Davidoff. They still are around. I think Small Batch just posted they had some more, or maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you can still find them, and if you can, the price tag's probably up there, but I would say it's worth a 30 to a 50.
Wow. And it's only at number 7, folks. Just imagine what the other 6 cigars are about to bring you.
I'm telling you, we brought the heat this year.
I'm like, it would have been literally, I think, impossible to make actual samplers out of ours and sell them because some of these cigars you just can't really get. But if we could, it would be the ultimate sampler battle of all time.
Yeah. And that's what sucks about these, right? I'd love to do a Pugh and Dave top 10 sampler and see who does better, but it's just, unfortunately, it's too difficult with some of these super rare limited releases or one-time releases that you just can't get your hands on. And some of these, are from a personal stash, so it's not necessarily something that's regular production. Like this cigar, I think I've been sitting on for 3 or 4 years now, and finally got around to smoking it. But that would be fun,
man.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. My number 7 is also a limited release. We've shipped it in CigarClub, and I also smoked it in the DR with a meal after a day of blending.
Oh, I know what this one is.
Number 7 cigar of the year for me, the Fratello Perfecto Classico. Or the Fratello Classico Perfecto limited edition.
There you go.
Wow. One of the few cigars I've ever smoked over a meal that was memorable, where the cigar was memorable. Not just like that I was smoking and eating at a restaurant, like that's always memorable. But the cigar stood out. The profile stood out. It's so classic Nicaragua, but like not strong Nicaragua. But it's to me, like, it's very two-noted. It's why I love cigars like the HVC Pan Caliente. It's bread and cinnamon, call it a day. And that's all I want anyway.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't always need these huge transition flavors.
So those two
and it's funny. Was that the one you ate with risotto?
Correct. So that's what I tried to replicate.
Was that the second trip? Risotto?
No. So the first trip was March. I had a coconut mushroom risotto with the Perfecto. Knock it out of the park. Second trip was July, and I have Chinchalle in my hand. I'm like, I got to go risotto again. But the only risotto was seafood, so I get that, puking my guts out.
I think I got risotto there too. I should have had a Perfecto
with the burrata.
God. Oh, that was so good.
Biggest
dish I've ever seen in my life.
For like $9.
I mean, I wish I had two softball size burratas over a pound and a half of risotto. I think I had like 4 bites and everyone else ate it. But yeah, normally I don't like pairing a cigar or having a cigar while I eat. If I'm smoking a cigar prior to a meal, I'll set it down and eat my meal and then pick it up afterwards. And I'm going to have to whip up some mushroom risotto and smoke the Perfecto with it because I'm really curious to see. I want to try it. I don't know. It's weird. Do you normally smoke a cigar with a meal, or do you kind of put it down and then come back to it?
Very few occasions have I consistently kept smoking it and eating. This is one of them. It was actually a pairing.
I think Omar told you to smoke it with that, right? Or did you just happen to be smoking it at the time?
We were going to be smoking that cigar, and we were going to be eating. But there was no, I got the risotto, and I was like, oh, this tastes like sweet coconut. And I'm like, tastes like cinnamon. That sounds like an incredible mixture. And it just worked. I kept, take a bite, smoke. It was a true pairing, which is what was really cool. Normally, if you're eating and you're smoking, you're kind of forcing the cigar because you enjoy smoking, but it doesn't really make anything taste better, and you can't really taste the cigar. This, you can taste both perfectly. So, anyway, number 7.
Love it. Great cigar.
All right, we're one away from the top 5, Pugh. What didn't make the cut for the top 5 but made the top 10? Number 6.
And it's so hard because...
Well, it's hard when you put it that way. I've
talked about this cigar. Yeah, I should have had my next thought lined up before I talked. This cigar, I said, and it still is my number 1 desert island cigar, but yet it doesn't crack the top 5 and it doesn't crack number 1. You think I probably just threw cigars on a list and called it, but I actually put thought into this one, and it's so difficult to crack a top 5. But
in this comment,
coming in at number 6 is the Serino Tiano 44.
CigarClub exclusive.
And CigarClub exclusive, and it's phenomenal. I mean, I think we were in a Zoom.
I think I have 1 left.
And we lit it up, and I was like, Dave, this is my new Desert Island cigar, replacing the Taino Wayfarer.
Which was CigarClub's number 1 cigar of the year.
Yeah, which doesn't make the top 5, but yet is my Desert Island cigar. And maybe part of the rationale behind it is that it's not a regular production, and so I am limited to 3 or 4 that I have left, and who knows if I'll ever want to smoke the final one, but... Phenomenal cigar. If this was a regular production, wink, wink, Carson, I think it would probably crack top 3, maybe top 1 of not new to me. Who knows? But incredible. That size is fantastic. I could literally smoke that cigar day in, day out. That would be the replacement to the Wayfarer cigars that I would just randomly hand out to people, no rhyme or reason, if it was a regular production. Incredible.
I think there's enough tobacco to do another run, because that one used the OG 2017 crop.
Those are just going to us, though. We need to run for everyone to be able to get to them.
We need to bring that one back. But this time we won't be dumb, and we'll hold like 100 sticks for just us to plow through.
There you go. No, that'd be great. I mean, that 2022 goal right there, having that one potentially come back, because it's incredible. And I would be surprised. That's one of the cigars that I would not be surprised if made your top 10. So no pressure.
This is going to be fun. All right. What are we on? 5?
Number 6. Are you drinking barrel proof over there? How's that hitting?
Oh, this, I guess, is my number 6. I thought it was my number 5. Okay. All right. Here we go. Number 6. Cigar of the year, new to me, not new to the industry. From our friends at Foundation. It is...
What's it going to be?
The Foundation Menalik. The 4.5 by 52
Mexican
box
San Andreas.
press Mexican San Andreas beast. Monster.
That's a great cigar.
Legend. You know how this made this, like, the middle of the top 10? Because I smoked the cigar on a quick coffee pairings, and I couldn't put it out after.
That's right. That's how you know it was a banger.
We did the episode, and I'm
doesn't
like, I'm
get
sorry,
curbed.
Ramsey, you're going to have to sit here for 45 minutes, because I cannot put this cigar down. It was that incredible.
Yeah.
It goes with coffee. You could smoke this one with a meal. I know, because I have done it, and it's great still.
Yeah.
It's lively. It's loud. It has strength, but it's just... There's so much flavor in the cigar. I don't even know. I'm not even going to run through tasting notes. It's just wildly flavorful.
Yeah.
The construction's effortless, flawless. Foundation.
I mean,
Menalik.
does Nick put anything out that isn't fantastic?
But this cigar is beyond.
I mean, he
it's
has
beyond fantastic.
That's true. He has such a mastery of utilizing dark, oily wrappers and blending them in such a way that it just doesn't kick you. And yeah, that's a phenomenal cigar. I think I've only smoked that once or twice,
2 times,
which is probably why it didn't stand out to me. But I love that's what I love about cigars. We've talked about this so many times, of how experiences shape your perception of a cigar and your experience with a cigar. Like, to me, that cigar I've only had just sitting outside on my back porch.
Right.
But you've got this story behind it and the emotion to it that elevates that cigar. And I'm looking at my top 10 here, and I'm like, man, a lot of these cigars have some type of experience or emotion behind them, and I think that's probably helps a lot where they land.
Yeah, big fan.
Love
of
it. That's awesome.
All right.
Do you remember what coffee was with
Starbucks. It was the best scoring. It was the best scoring coffee review of all time that we've done.
Wow. Did you do the old dipstick on it?
And I kept smoking.
Did it ruin it?
But I kept smoking it.
Oh, I love it.
Hey, we got the top 5 coming up here, folks. But you know what else we got, Pugh? I'm going to keep driving this home because I'm such a fan of this.
Talk to me.
CigarClub
Just show me the
collaboration
packaging.
with Ducks
Love it.
Unlimited. We have new cigars available. Look at the freaking bag. If you guys haven't bought these, it's not a subscription.
Love
You don't
that
have to
bag.
sign up for it. You can just go to our website. On the left-hand side, you click on Ducks Unlimited Cigars. We blended these for the Ducks Unlimited fam over at La Isla, where my top 10 Chinchalle comes from. And we've got Connecticut, Habano, and Maduro. If you ever find yourself sitting in blinds, you better have one of these cigars in your hand.
Gotta have one of those.
And great company. We give a
great
a
company, great
back,
calls
to what they're doing in their mission and conservation in the U.S. Check it out, Cigar Club Ducks Unlimited.
Top
5.
You ready? Are you sitting down, Dave? I mean, I can see you're sitting down, but are you sitting down, or you have stand-up desk?
Down. On the record, if you're only listening to this podcast, I'm sitting down, and shit's about to get real.
So, number 5 comes in at number 5 because of how amazing I paired this cigar. It is the best pairing I think I've ever come up with.
Here. Okay.
This one, listen, we're a team here at Cigar Club. However,
you did.
This one was me.
I'm sure you did. I'm just pointing it out. Here we go.
Principal Accomplice, Lancero, white band, paired with Weller 107, took this cigar to the stratosphere. We left orbit. We're shooting past the old non-planet Pluto. We're leaving the galaxy.
He is fired up, folks, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I couldn't have nailed this one any better. This cigar, on its own, fantastic. But when I paired it with 107, it turned it into nothing but marshmallowy, toasted goodness. Without it, it was great. It was just kind of, I don't know, sweet, creamy. But with that weeded 107, it transported me to sitting by a campfire, sticking marshmallows into the fire, getting them way too crispy, and then trying to eat it while it's nuclear hot. It was such an amazing experience, and just really kind of reinvigorated my love for pairings, and just showed me like, hey, this is possible. Like this is what a pairing that's done well can do to elevate both a cigar and whiskey. I smoked that cigar. As I was smoking it, I tried numerous other bourbons with it, and none of them even came close to matching the experience that the Weller 107 did.
I have nothing to say. You said it. The descriptors of the toasted marshmallow and the flaming heat of it and still going for it, that doesn't get you fired up about a pairing or a cigar. I don't know what will. I enjoyed that cigar. I didn't have a euphoric experience with it. I also didn't pair it with 107. And I don't have any left, so I feel like it's just next time I can get my hands on something, I will do it. But, I mean, that's also amazing how pairings can play a role. And just personal palate. Like, I smoked that cigar and was like, this is a really good cigar. It definitely needs to go in a box. And I already know the kind of person that's going to enjoy it. But it wasn't, oh my God, kind of thing. Which is the beauty of smoking cigars. And also the beauty of the top five. Because now we're talking about a very small, concentrated number of the greatest cigars that, of course, we're going to freak out over. And we probably won't have too much crossover, which is cool. Not like, you know what I mean?
No. Yep. Yeah. I've got one left.
One left? You got four left.
I'll smoke it.
One
What's
Accomplice.
That? Yeah. I'll smoke it before I finish my bottle of 107 just to relive it. Maybe sometime maybe with a campfire this winter, but by far the best pairing that I've had.
Hey, you heard it here, folks.
All right. We want to know. 5. What's the first cigar in your top 5?
My top 5, and I'm going to also denote the size here. While I do enjoy the cigar in multiple sizes, I enjoy it primarily in a Lancero. It's a shorter Lancero.
What's it going to be?
It comes from our good friends at Rodriguez Cigars. It is the 1831 Selfcion Viejo, which Pugh has 2 with his name on here that I still haven't shipped him.
Yeah, that one can't make my top 10 because I haven't smoked them, Dave. Thanks for teeing me up on that one.
Selfcion Viejo in Lancero, top 5 cigars. I've never handed somebody that cigar and they didn't say WTF. And I'm like, yeah, definitely that. And you have to go to Key West to get it. We're trying to get it in boxes, but these are cigars that sit for over a year before they're released. And in talking with him, I even know that he smoked them to check in on the new release. And he's like, these aren't right. Make them again. And I got to wait another year. So that's why they've only dropped once.
Wow.
And it is the perfect. It is
That's
such
incredible.
a great cigar. It's such an amazing size. I smoke it on the podcast we do with Danny. If you want to just see it, it's on that podcast. Love the cigar. Top 5 was a no doubter. I'd smoke that cigar every day for the rest of my life.
Wow. I mean, I knew you. Ever since you smoked it, you've talked nonstop about that cigar. Every day. That's impressive.
It's amazing. It is an amazing cigar.
I'm excited to get that, to try that one. And,
I almost
that'd
feel
be
like
awesome
did I put
if we
it
can
too
get
high?
our boxes for that.
But it made the top 5.
Yeah, should it have
Or
been
too
top,
low,
top 3?
Yeah, should have been top 3.
Yeah.
It's a great cigar. Check it out. Bug Danny, or DeFabio. Just go email Rodriguez
if you're ever in
Cigars
Key
and
West.
beg for them. But if you're ever in Key West, you definitely go there and ask for that cigar. 1831
For sure.
Selfcion Viejo, number 5. Pew, we're in the top 5. Now we're in the top 4.
Top 4. It gets harder and harder. Coming in at number 4 is, I don't think there was a cigar in 2021 that I smoked more of.
Oh, holy crap.
So,
I don't even know where this is going.
I put away almost probably a box, a half to a full box of these bad boys. Another exclusive. Any guesses?
Another Cigar Club exclusive?
Correct.
I mean, my pool is so small I could guess, but I don't think that would do it justice because I don't know what you're talking about.
Back to back, another Principal, the Cigar Club Principal exclusive.
Oh.
I put away way too many of these. Dave, cover your ears. It was probably half to a full box. Hey.
Oh, man.
That cigar was like, it was the timing of it, summer. It was, you wake up in the morning before it gets too hot here in Alabama. That cigar just killed with a cup of coffee. And at night, starts to cool off, killed with a glass of wine. I love it. I absolutely love that cigar. I love the uniqueness that the tobacco from KBF has, that Principal's able to do with that tobacco.
10-year-old binder in that thing.
The 10-year-old Katui binder. Darren had a mastery of using that. It's the first cigar that I've ever smoked that had Katui in it, so it was completely new to me. And perfect size.
Wow. I love that. The Principal Accomplice cigar.
And I still have a couple floating around, too, so I'm really excited for a quick little winter smoke, pulling that bad boy out.
The word on the street is he's got more in the warehouse, too. So we got to get our hands on him. That was your number 4 cigar of the year.
Number 4, back-to-back Principals, too.
Wow. That is really awesome. Where can I go with this, folks? To be honest, I have trouble with the next 4 because they're... I don't want to say they're interchangeable because that's not fair to the number 1, but these are all phenomenal cigars.
Hard.
Okay.
Yep.
My number 4 cigar of the year from our good friends at Crowned Heads, the Le Careme 2021 limited edition Bellicoso Finos. Shut it down. Turn the lights off.
Oh, let me go shut them off.
This cigar. These are, by the way, back-to-back Connecticut broadleaf cigars on my top 10. Sound the alarm.
Wow. Play it. Cue it up.
Play it, Ramsey. What? Me? No. A full-bodied cigar? Obsessed with this stick. There's not enough boxes of these for me to smoke. It is the perfect night cigar. You can smoke it last. You can smoke it first, after dinner, whatever the case may be. You can't hide the flavor that just protrudes out of the smoke in this. Like, you pull it, you're like, What is that? What is this? The construction's perfect. The draw is perfect. The flavor is just so abundant. I'm just obsessed with this cigar. And we got these in months ago. And until about, I think it was October, I finally lit them up. I had like 5. I lit up the first one. It was amazing. I think we got them in like April. And I'm like, why haven't I smoked this?
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I always loved the 2018 version. I think it was like, there's no way it can be as good as the OG. It is. It might be better, actually. It's cleaner.
And that's always, super impressive that, I agree. I remember smoking the 2018, and it's the regular release as well is fantastic. But that Bellicoso size.
Yeah. The regular release
fantastic.
is one of my favorite Maduros. That and Magic Toast, I love those two. But anyway, number 4 cigar of the year, Crowned Heads Le Careme 2021.
Love it. Shout out. Even repping the old
me
Crowned
too,
Heads
dude.
hat for
Me
this
too.
one. You too. You got
Holy
the old
crap.
CHC, right?
This is not sponsored by Crowned Heads, but it is.
We didn't plan this either.
Wes, you dog. All right, Pugh, number 3. Are we at 3?
We're at 3.
Oh, God. It's so real right now.
Here's where the old mastery of the English language fails me. So I'm going to butcher this. Bear with me, folks. Coming in at number 3 is the United Cigars Byron Londineses 20th.
Whoa, I've never had
limited edition cigar. Doesn't give any description of what's in the actual cigar. It literally is all just completely undisclosed. This cigar blew my socks off. I had this bad boy saved.
Do you have any more of these?
No.
Do they sell them online anywhere? I need to have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got to get some. We got to get some.
Yeah, I'll link it to you after this.
Just wow! I've never smoked it.
I saved it for, it was one of those special occasion cigars, or I think it was like a Saturday.
Which
I had
is funny
it pegged
because
away, and
to me,
like,
those never live up to the hype. When you're like, this is my special. And then you smoke, you're like, what the hell?
There's been a few times, I save the more premium cigars, the more expensive cigars that carry a crazy price tag. You buy it to treat yourself, and then you get it, and you're like, I don't know when I'm going to smoke this cigar because I need it to be perfect. And I think we've talked about this before, but I was like, you know what? Let's rip out a Sunday morning, 9 o'clock with a cup of coffee, sat down, smoked the cigar. It just, oh my God, incredible. Like, flawless construction, beautiful transitions. I mean, I could not ask for a better cigar, and it delivered. And it falls in the top 3 for that reason. I would smoke this cigar
What kind of profile is
any
that?
day of the week. If I could afford it, I would smoke it any day of the week, but it would be one that I'd go back and buy another one, a 3-pack of them. I wouldn't buy a box just because I couldn't afford a box, but if I could, for some
What's the
reason...
retail on that stick?
A box of 25 is $775. A 3-pack will run you $90.
So $30 cigar.
So you're looking at $30 a pop.
What's the profile? Like medium, full, like...
Medium, yeah. I would say straight medium, maybe mild to medium, very breaking
Dude,
into that
try
medium.
This cigar now.
It's incredible. If you're looking to treat yourself, holidays coming up, maybe link it to someone for a recommendation, but
3-pack.
Well worth it.
Wow, cool. The Byron, folks. The Byron. Number 3 cigar of the year for producer Pugh, a.k.a. Purito. All right.
The old Purito.
Number 3. Number 3. This is exciting. Things are getting real. I'm so excited to do this top 3.
I know. I'm so excited to see what you've got queued up. I love doing
All
this.
right. Number 3 cigar of the year for me is the Alec and Bradley Kintsugi in Robusto.
Well done. Well done. Yeah. Well done.
There's a lot to say about this, but I'm going to keep it short because we're freaking cranking through these. You open the cigar out of its cellophane and smell the foot. It smells like Welch's fruit snacks. Okay, that's the first step that you need to understand. Then you light this thing up, and there's no strength and a ton of flavor. And we said this on our last podcast. Just open up your entire baking spices drawer and dump them on your face in the best way, not in the negative way that would actually ensue. That's what the cigar is.
Exactly.
It has insane amount of balance. It's very clean, and the flavors never stop. Every quarter inch, it's new, all the way to the nub. Amazing cigar. Top 3 of the year. Number 3 of the year, Alec and Bradley Kintsugi. The artwork's also phenomenal. I love the cigar. I love this brand. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked that cigar to death. Fantastic. I can't speak more highly of that cigar. That was one that I did expect to land on your top 10.
Yep. All right, Pugh.
All right, let's move in.
Number
2.
Oh God.
Number 2. We're getting up there. So, number 2. Once again, another butchery of the English language. Another United Cigars. We've got the United Cigars Bandolero Tremendos. It's a 5x50, so it's just what they're calling a Robusto.
From these guys, and I need to.
This is undoubtedly the best $14 cigar I have ever smoked.
Holy,
hands down. It smokes. I love Davidoff. This cigar was better than any $15 Davidoff. Stupid. I don't know how they get away with charging $15 or $14 for this stick.
Who makes these? What factory? Is it Costa Rica?
I have zero idea. Literally, once again, just like the other Byron, undisclosed. Only information you get. So wherever United Cigars produces this bang-up job.
Wow.
If you walk into a humidor and you see it at $14, $15, buy yourself a couple. Treat yourself. To me, this is like... We talk about SerIno Cigars and how they could charge double MSRP for their cigars.
Correct.
This is a cigar that you could easily spend $20, $25, $30 on and not blink an eye at it. And the fact that it comes in at $15 or $14 is ridiculous. Wow. And total sleeper at that price point.
You heard it here, folks. United Cigars. Just back to back on Pugh's list. That's insane. Yep. I love that. Wow. I got another one I need to add to my list. So far, both of those are the ones that I want to go find first from your list.
Yeah. Treat yourself.
Treat
Worth it.
yourself. Number 2 on my list, ladies and gentlemen, number 2, the second best cigar I've smoked all year is the Serino Elenor Rose.
There it is. Man, number 2. What the heck is going to be your number 1 cigar? That's what I had pegged to be your number 1.
I know.
Hands down, I was like, all right, Elenor Rose, Eagle, number 1, Dave cigar.
That, it could be my number 1, but then so I kind of was going, hold on, I don't want to lose sight of this yet. It's Serino Elenor Rose. I obviously absolutely love this cigar. It's kind of in that same category with the Rodriguez Selfcion Viejo, where I could smoke this one every day forever. It's like, it feels like it's my cigar, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And it's so amazing. And the size, being able to be a part of the process of Carson kind of making that cigar. I tasted some of the sample blends. But then
that's
the production was so much better than even the sample blend. I've never seen such a leap. Love that cigar. Love the brand. Love the packaging on it. Smoke it every day. Serino Elenor Rose. I mean, every time we put it on the website, it sells out the same day. So
instantly.
Big fan.
Can't keep those bad boys in stock.
It's very nuanced. It's a lot through the retrohale. There's no strength. There's a lot of flavor. Nutmegs, cinnamons, sweet like caramels, oaky. It's delicious. So big fan.
It's a classic cigar.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Classic. Yep. Go get it, people.
And I think it's now like officially released or about to be officially released.
Atlantic's got it. We've got kind of have it.
Yeah.
We're always out of stock of it because you guys buy it too fast.
Not right now, but it's great to see that it's finally on the map. National retailers are carrying it, and I think that cigar will be kind of a relaunching point for Serino back into everyone's daily and weekly and monthly rotations.
Agree. All right, Pugh, the moment we've all been waiting for, the grand finale of this incredible episode, your number 1 cigar of the year.
Number 1, new to me, 2021. Here it comes, folks. To no surprise, Alec and Bradley Kintsugi in Corona Gorda. That was a no-brainer for me, which made the rest of the night even more difficult to come up with or to organize.
Holy crap.
I literally sat down to write my list, and it was like, all right, Alec, Bradley, Kintsugi. It was easy. It was a no-brainer for me. That cigar just completely swept me off my feet. You talked about it briefly, and we talked about it last podcast, and we've probably talked about it 10 other times on other podcasts. But starting with the packaging, the concept, the story, the box art, the development of the box art, to the actual release, the secondary band, how it interlocks with the primary band, and completes the story of what Kintsugi is,
it's the total
which
experience.
Is the gold leaf art form of building, putting something back together and making it whole again. To I perfectly remember the story. I made a Boulevardier with it. Bailey, Miss Purito, staged the photo for me. We sat down. I was smoking it. She was smoking something else. I'm just writing down my thoughts on it, thinking about it. I come up to this like spicy, sweet element. I pass it to her. She smokes it. She's like, "Oh, Hungarian paprika," and the light bulbs go off on that one. And that's what, exactly right. And it's exact. I mean, it was. She put into words exactly what I was tasting. It just the moment around that cigar completely blew me away. And every time I've gone back to it, I think of that moment. And the cigar, continues to be as good as it was the first time I smoked it. And it was a no-brainer. I think the moment I smoked that cigar, I was like, Dave, this is probably my number 1 cigar of the year. And this was back, June maybe? July? June, I don't quite remember. But it was early on, and I had pegged it as top 5, probably top 1, and it lands there.
Love that.
To no one's surprise.
I'm not shocked by it because you've voiced it so much, but it's so, I mean, it's in my top 5. It's number 3. It's in my top 3. Like, It is such a special cigar. You haven't even talked about did you talk about the price point of it? I don't think you did. That's also absurd. It's like $750.
No, but
like, you can buy a box of that easily. Like, let me get a box.
You don't blink and buy a box because that box is something you'll keep forever.
That's amazing. And I love how much you enjoyed it. Shout out Alec and Brad.
That's why I love doing these. God, I mean, I love doing these. They're so much fun.
I know. I want to do them like monthly now. All right.
I have no idea what's going to land in your number one spot. I thought it'd been Elenor Rose, and I'm like, what am I not thinking of that Dave smoked?
I didn't overhype this one because I kind of knew it was going to be I knew Elenor Rose was going to be in the top 2, and then it was a matter of, is it the number one or is this the number one? This cigar that took me over 2.5 hours to finish. It's a Toro.
I'm trying to rack my brain of what this could be.
It encompasses everything I love, which is, I guess I'm just going to tease this out. I'm going to say it and then I'm going to tease it out. Number one cigar of the year for me, the Cohiba Serie M in Toro.
Oh.
Limited edition.
Damn. Another Toro. I think you like Toros. You just don't want to admit it.
Heavy use of Aganorsa tobacco. Made it El Titan de Bronze, one of my favorite cigar factories. Definitely my favorite, that's accessible all the time. But one of my favorite of all time. It is so everything to me. I don't have the full words to break this one down, but just know it's dark enough and heavy enough to give you that fullness you want. But then it's nuanced enough like a Kintsugi or an Elenor Rose where you can still retro every puff. The construction is so impeccable that it literally took me over 2.5 hours to smoke it. The burn time was insane. It's a $30 cigar that I paid retail for, and I didn't question it at one point ever while smoking it. I actually went back and I bought 3.
Got one
and
sitting.
I sent 2 to Griff for his housewarming gift. I'm like, I sent you 3. 1 is mine. 2 are yours.
There you go. I'm
Don't
sitting on that cigar, and
now.
apparently I'm going to have to wait.
No.
I got to wait for 2022, so it may break the top 10 of 2022 for me.
Pugh, smoke it now and count it as 2022. I just don't want you to wait any longer. It's such a phenomenal cigar.
All right. I'll have to, as soon as I get some nicer weather, because it's miserable here right now.
They made 50,000 of them.
I will smoke that bad boy.
So not a lot. But it's got the Corojo 99 wrapper, the binders from Nicaragua, and then the filler.
Gorgeous cigar.
The filler, you've got Esteli and Jalapa Corojo, or Nicaragua, but then you've got Piloto Cubano, which gives it this dense oakiness.
Oh.
It's we're going to make an almost Nicaraguan Puro, but we're going to throw in some DR Piloto and just throw you for a loop. It's expertly blended, expertly constructed. Number one cigar of the year.
I was about to say, I think that just shows how intentional.
Let's go, baby.
Well, I won't even give my thoughts on this one then. No, I think adding that Piloto Cubano in it to make it a non-Nicaraguan Puro shows just how intentional that adding of that leaf was. Because it would have been so much easier for them to go, no, this is all going to be Aganorsa. We're just going to make it a Nicaraguan Puro. But I imagine they tested it and they're like, no, this needs a little bit something else. And they reached for that Piloto Cubano and went, this completes it. It would have been so easy to just label it as a Nicaraguan Puro. And for them to be able to be okay with adding that is awesome. I think that speaks to probably how good that cigar is, and I'm excited.
Almonds,
I'll have to, 2 cigars,
leather,
moving on up.
It's caramel, it's spicy, it's cinnamony, it's everything. And it's so well balanced along the way. Anyway, just a big fan. I was just scrolling through. Half Wheel has rated it a 90, which is solid to get from. I mean, it's amazing to get from Half Wheel to crack to 90.
That's incredible.
But I think this is like a 94, 95 kind of cigar. It's that good. So anyway, can't wait for you to smoke that one. Yeah, maybe you should wait till 2022 because I think it's going to crack the top. There it is, folks.
Smoke it January 1st, and then I don't even have to smoke anything else the rest of the year.
Cigars of the year from Mr. Purito himself and me. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make that a thing, Pugh. I'm telling you right now. It's getting there. Pugh, any final thoughts for the people?
No, final episode of the year. I mean, what's this, 38, I think? Incredible. What a journey. I was just reminiscing on the first episode and going back and listening to it and just seeing how we've progressed, you and I, and how fun this has been. I am really excited for what we're calling Season 2, kicking off in 2022. I'm really going to look to continue to bring interviews and discussions and pairings and insights into Cigar Club and everything that we do. And it's been wonderful, and looking forward to the break.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to a little holiday break here and come back and really kick it off with 2022.
Yeah,
and season 2.
We really appreciate each and every one of you who listen, who download these episodes, who engage with us, who make requests. We've got even more brand interviews coming up next year with people in cigars and outside of cigars that influence this industry in I think such a special way, and taking you guys with us wherever we go. DR, Miami, the beautiful Midwest, the US of A. We're bringing you with us, Cigar Club family. Thanks for being a part of what we're doing with the podcast. It means a ton to us. Every week, it's like the uploads, the downloads get a little higher. It's really encouraging to see. Whatever you guys want to see for season 2, send us an email, shoot us a DM, whatever you got to do. We'd love to hear your suggestions.
Drop a comment, YouTube, if you're watching it there. Let us know. We love looking for new ideas and interacting with all of you.
Hey, happy Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2022.
Happy holidays, 2022.
What? Woo! For season 2. Right here on the Cigar Club Podcast. Happy smoking, everybody.